What's going on, everyone? Real Red Politics here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to be discussing what the absolute heck is going on in the United States House of Representatives. They're heading into their 6th round of voting for Speaker of the House. And I'm going to give my thoughts. We're going to take a look at all 5 rounds that have happened so far. The 6th round will not resume until 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll be taking a look at all 5 of the rounds that have happened so far. I'm going to give my thoughts on it, and then we're also going to talk about, we're going to talk about how there's an article released that Matt Gaetz could be the de facto House Speaker. And then we're also going to talk about something funny that I think he put out a day or two ago. Something I'm sure most of you have seen, but we'll kind of get into that at the end of the video, because I think it's funny. So let's take a look here. They're going into their 6th round of voting. That means they voted 5 other times for Speaker of the House, and they still do not have a speaker. How many rounds are they going to go until whoever they pick as the Republicans going to be Speaker of the House? I do not know. I don't know. And we can look at the 5th round, the 5 rounds that have happened so far. First round, McCarthy had 203 votes. Jeffries had 212. Jeffries, I don't think will be House Speaker. I don't see that happening unless some rhinos vote for Jeffries. I don't think we're going to have a Democrat as Speaker of the House, but I think it's I still think it's most likely McCarthy is going to win Speaker of the House. Does that mean I want him? Does that mean I think he's the best? No, he's definitely not the best. He's more of a rhino, if anything. So we can look at the first and second rounds. Nothing changed. The 3rd round, he lost a vote. 4th and 5th round, he lost another vote. So from the 1st round to the 5th round, he's lost 2 votes. Who those 2 are, I don't know. I'm not really looking into every individual member. I'm going purely off the numbers that are given. And something that's interesting going on is a lot of Republicans are actually uniting behind Jim Jordan. Now, I do want to give my opinion on that. Jim Jordan is a wonderful congressman. I think he's very charismatic. He's very strong in the Republican Party. I think he's done a good job as a member of Congress. Do I think he should be Speaker of the House? Well, I think he'd be a great speaker. However, I do believe he's going to be chairman of the Judicial Committee, and I don't think he can do both. And so, as much as Jim Jordan would be a great option, I don't see it happening. Now, if it happens, I'm not going to complain. Who are they going to put in charge of who's going to be the chairman if he does become Speaker of the House? I don't know. But we can kind of look at how 3rd round voting, Jim Jordan got a pretty good amount of votes. Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, 2 people who I do respect. And now through 4th, 5th, and 6th round voting, they're uniting behind, I don't know what this guy's name is, Donald. I don't know what his first name is. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't heard of him. I don't know what his policies are. I don't know what his beliefs are, his political stances are. I don't know. But we can see that there were people uniting behind Jim Jordan. I know some people are like, well, what about governor candidate in New York, Lee Zeldin. I don't know why the name was just escaping my mind. People are like, well, what about Lee Zeldin? I don't think he's going to run. I don't think people are going to vote for him. I don't know that anyone will. And it's not that he's a bad representative. It's just I just don't think he's relevant in this process right now. Other than I don't think he's not a representative anymore because he was running for the governor's office. But that's besides the point. My point is I don't think that other people would vote Lee Zeldin. And like I said, it's not that he's bad. It's just I don't think people are focused on him right now. I think people are more focused on, who's a strong Speaker of the House, or who would be a strong Speaker of the House, And here's my thoughts with Kevin McCarthy. He's a rhino, yes. Granted, he did vote against and spoke against the omnibus bill, the $1.7 trillion waste of spending. He did vote against it. However, that doesn't mitigate his other, the fact that he caves into the Democrats. He caves in. But here's my thoughts on it. I would rather have a rhino as Speaker of the House than a Democrat, because at least a rhino will vote Republican some of the time. Okay, those are my thoughts. Like, that's my biggest thought, is like, rhinos should be voted out of office and should be given a true America First patriot should be in office. But we don't, we live in the world that is now. And so I'd rather have a rhino than have a Democrat, because like I said, a rhino votes Republican at least some of the time. Not saying that a Democrat doesn't, but a rhino is more likely to vote at least Republican at least more consistently. Now, ideally, I would rather have like Matt Gaetz, or I would rather have Jim Jordan as Speaker of the House. I truly would. And if, like I said, Jim Jordan, he gave a speech in Congress, and it was, I haven't seen all of it, but from the portion that I did see, it was very electrifying. He said what that the 118th Congress is going to do. He says they're going to, he's going to stand up against these massive spending bills, all that kind of stuff. And he had support. Like, he had people standing on their feet, like, cheering and clapping. That's Speaker of the House worthy. Kevin McCarthy, I'm not saying he can't do that, but he doesn't have the same charisma as Jim Jordan. I think Jim Jordan would be much better Speaker of the House. But like I said, if he's not going to be Speaker of the House, he's going to be Chairman of the Judicial Committee. Both are very important positions. And so I think whatever spot Jim Jordan gets, I think he'll do very well in. And that's kind of what I have for that. I mean, I don't know how many rounds it's going to take before someone is finally elected or voted into the position. I don't know. Like I said, Matt Gaetz is a great option. I don't think he's on the ballot, or I don't think he's going to be voted on by people. But I definitely think that Jim Jordan is an America First candidate. I think he'll do, if he is elected to the House Speaker seat, I think he'll do a very good job. And so we're going to get a look. I just wanted to go over on Fox News real quick and kind of just say, yes, Kevin McCarthy did in fact vote against the omnibus bill. It says here, House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy blasted the $1.7 trillion omnibus spending bill after it passed on Friday, calling it a stain on this Congress. The United States is currently more than $31 trillion in debt. Yeah, thanks, Joe Biden. And so I want to get into something else as well. If we look over here at Newsweek.com, there was an article released. What is this? It was released on the 31st of December. And here it says, Steve Bannon, former advisor to former President Donald Trump, said Friday that Representative Matt Gaetz, a Florida Republican, is essentially going to be the de facto House Speaker in the next Congress. Now, this is because, in my opinion, is because a lot of people are, like I said, are uniting behind these America First patriots, these America First candidates. Yes, Trump did endorse McCarthy for the House Speaker seat. Like I said, I fully support Trump, and like I have said in the past, he endorses whoever is most likely to win. Not necessarily who's the best, but who's most likely to win. Because it's better to have a Republican in office, even if they're a rhino, than a Democrat. Because, like I said, a rhino will vote Republican some of the time. And usually more consistently. I don't really have anything else on that. I just think it's interesting. I think, whoever does end up being the House Speaker is going to do a way better job than Nancy Pelosi could have ever done. Nancy Pelosi was a terrible House Speaker, but I mean, she's a pretty radical Democrat, whatever. I'm not even going to go off on that tangent. But now I kind of want to get into something else that I thought was interesting. If you look over here, this is a letter that Matt Gaetz wrote to, who's this written to? Something like the, I don't know who it was written to. Someone named Mr. Blanton. I don't know his position in office, and I apologize for that. But you can read it here. But if you look at the middle section, the middle paragraph, with a question, how long will he remain there before he's considered a squatter? I mean, let's just read the whole thing. So we look here in the middle. Matt Gaetz writes, what is the basis in law, House rule, or precedent to allow someone who has placed second in 3 successive Speaker elections to occupy the Speaker of the House office? How long will he remain there before he is considered a squatter? I just think that's humorous. Like I said, Matt Gaetz is an America First candidate, and I know he fully supports Trump. And so, that's like, to kind of conclude, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to become Speaker of the House. I do think it's most likely McCarthy's going to be. But if it's not McCarthy, let's hope it's someone like Jim Jordan. Anyways, so that's what I have for today's video, guys. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you did enjoy the video. I'm trying to hit 300 subs by the end of this month. This month being January, I'm trying to hit 300 subs. That'd be a wonderful milestone. So thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more political content coming your guys' way.